Welcome to the Working Man Committee podcast. I am your host, Brandon T. And I want to say this first. Like, subscribe, helps out the channel. Even comment. It all helps the channel, helps push it to more people and so forth. And with that said, like I said, I'm Brandon T. And this is the Working Man Committee podcast. And like I said, we're not politically correct at all here. And when we say working man, we do it old school way. Men, women, whoever out here get it. And so with that said, there's more news. It's another one, y'all. DJ Khaled voice, another one. So Trump has another indictment, and this indictment comes down in Georgia, where Fulton County's Fannie Willis DA, local DA there, is charging Trump with what she's charging him with. And so I'm gonna say this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Before we get into my opinion and so forth on it, let's you know what I'm saying, let's go to the press conference of her and let her tell you about what she did and how she wanted to do things and so forth. And with that said, let's go.
Thank you for joining us. I'm here with the prosecutors and investigators who have worked diligently on the investigation of criminal attempts to interfere in the administration of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state. The indictment includes 41 felony counts and is 97 pages long. Please remember that everyone charged in this bill of indictment is presumed innocent. Specifically, the indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump in Georgia and elsewhere to block the counting of the votes of the presidential electors who were certified as the winners of Georgia's 2020 general election. As you examine the indictment, you will see acts that are identified as overt acts and those that are identified as predicate acts, sometimes called acts of racketeering activity. Overt acts are not necessarily crimes under Georgia law in isolation, but are alleged to be acts taken in furtherance of the conspiracy. Many occurred in Georgia, and some occurred in other jurisdictions and are included because the grand jury believes they were part of the illegal effort to overturn the results of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. The acts identified as predicate acts or acts of racketeering activity are crimes that are alleged to have been committed in furtherance of the criminal enterprise. Acts of racketeering activity are also charged as separate counts in the indictment against those who are alleged to have committed them. All elections in our nation are administered by these states, which are given the responsibility of ensuring a fair process and an accurate counting of the votes. That includes elections for presidential electors, Congress, state officials, and local officials.
All right, so that's what that's the angle she's going at. And I don't know if you paid attention enough here, but she kept using the word elsewhere. So she is feeling that she has the power to prosecute the whole thing. It says, hey, it wasn't just in Georgia. It was in other states where they were trying to see votes, and she is attempting to charge it all from Fulton County. as a local prosecutor. Now, I personally don't think she has the authority to do that. To like I said, she can only charge what happened in her county and so forth. And so if she, like I said, she works for the county. So a bunch of questions I would have here, working man, and I'm not sure off the top of my head what's the capital of Georgia. I don't think it's Atlanta. I think it's somewhere outside of Fulton County. And so could Fulton County, you know what I'm saying, could she even possibly bring a charge if the case is big and so forth? And another thing I would say, she's charging RICO. And you know what I'm saying, RICO is one of those ones that you can encompass a lot of things. It was created to excuse me. It was encompassed to get the mob guys. And cause they were getting off and they was only catching for tax evasion and so forth. And so they opened it up to, you know what I'm saying, to gray area. And like I said, within this gray area, then it's determining, you know what I'm saying, what could be looked at and what could not be looked at. But like I said, I want to play this here for y'all. I want to play that she maybe looked at another high profile case in her jurisdiction, as she said. I want to play that for you and see if you notice any similarities. Go.
Rodney Bryant, as well as my sheriff and our sheriff, Sheriff Patrick Labatt. We are here today about a grand jury indictment that was returned that included not just Jeffrey Williams, which is of some notoriety and media attention, but about 28 defendants that operated within our community between the time period of 2012 and 2022. It is our allegation that they operated as a criminal street gang and commenced to do havoc in our community. That havoc includes crimes of violence, crimes of thefts, crimes involving drugs. I've made no secret about it, nor any apology that as the district attorney of Fulton County, my number one focus is targeting gangs. And there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community. And so they have to be rooted out of our community. I said just a week or two ago, it does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. I agree with Chief Bryant. What you see yesterday and what you will see in the upcoming months and years is the result of a lot of hard work by both the Atlanta Police Department and this office. We are proud to bring forth
Yep.
this
So
indictment.
sounds very familiar in this case because just before that, she was laser focused on street gangs. Arrested Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, and his group. That a whole bunch of people. In that case, just similar to like the Trump case, indicted a whole bunch of people, stream, you know what I'm saying, charging RICO and all of them, and so forth. And like I said, is it's like I said, is RICO probably one of the easier things to charge because it's so open ended and so forth. So she, like I said, she's doing the same activities, the same act, and so forth. And with that, like I said, and like I said, with that being that, it's like she, I mean, she's trying to build her name here. Now, I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, in the street gang part was she wrong or right, you know what I'm saying? But it's like it's a step like so she was laser focused here, and then the next political move she calculates the next political move like here and so forth. Because like I said, she is like I said, she's definitely, you know what I'm saying, trying to build her brand. And a little bit about her. is that she got into office. Hold on one second. Yeah, so she got the so she is the first woman to serve as district attorney of Fulton County. So she has that on that accomplishment of winning that DA's race and so forth. And let's see, like I said, there was a long term prosecutor there that she was able to oust. And then, like I said, got she went to Howard, you know, since she's a local kid and so forth. I wasn't gonna say kid because she is 52. Yep, and so forth. And like I said though, she's been a prosecutor for 20 years and led over 100 jury trials and prosecuted 100 murders. So I mean, she's not brand new in the situation, but you know what I'm saying. She has, you know what I'm saying. She has some experience, but like I said, when you start running for office and looking for higher office and so forth, it turns into like you want to move up like a bigger splash and so forth. So, like I said, we'll see if she takes this perch and goes for the governor or something of that state. And so, with that being said, recommend. I think that my prediction is that I think she overreached heavily in the Trump case, and I think the Trump case will also pull Young Thug's Jeffrey Williams case, and both of them will probably walk free from this and so forth. And with that being said, this has been the Working Man Committee podcast, and I've been your host Brandon T. And we'll see you later. Peace.